getting into this one. It is Gobi Arena, just the wrong animation.
We just saw the
animation
out there.
Wrong.
Okay, perfect.
But we do have the right map in place, and that's what I was talking about right there. Komomo and Shiwatan on those double air parries right there. That's going to allow them to pressure with those inkjets so heavily onto the enemy plat, especially on a map like Gobi Arena where it can be hard to get onto that enemy plat because there's not really too many ways to get up there.
Yeah, this is exactly what we predicted, the double end parry. This is going to give them a lot of options in order to pressure the heavy spotling deco that's going to be coming out. However, Vitamin C playing a very aggressive composition. You see Egg, their heavy spotling player, is all the way up, not really staying on top of that platform, just using the momentum and the actual maneuverability of the weapon in order to get a kill there. Nice kill there by Shiwotan in order to build up the rest of that inkjet and try and finish off Lily, who's able to duck behind and move away. Unfortunately, they did get picked off by Komomo, who was coming through that uninkable surface, and it looks like so far it's been a pretty big back and forth, but KachoFugetsu seems to have the early advantage.
Yeah, here we do see them controlling mid for the most part so far. They also are starting to get the picks. One of the end parries on their team goes down, but it's okay because they got a triple on the other side. That power clam, though, is going to be in a pretty bad spot because it's going to be pretty hard to pick up for them, but they're going to have to deal with it right now. They do manage to score one power clam. The rest of the team is starting to go down right there. One of the end parries in Komomo was in a pretty bad position right there, able to make the most of it until she finally went down, but now it does seem like Vitamin C's taking this in the other direction.
Yeah, good defense by Vitamin C there. I like their decision to allocate 2 members on that sort of uninkable ramp and put their Octobrush on top of everything so that they can just swish down on top of their opponents and take them out. It's only a 3-shot kill if you're within that optimal range, but we already see 2 members now again going down for Vitamin C. They do have the bubble blower still to contend with, and they are popping it now, but they're being flanked around, and they're trying to make use of the splash wall. I don't think Acai really was paying that much attention to them, so they're able to survive another day. They are looking for that top ground positioning, and Toriko actually didn't see Egg. They might be looking for the flank. They do get a couple of shots onto Komomo, who will end up going down, and Egg following suit as Shiwotan gets so close, but I think that's the main job of this Octobrush so far. Play goalie, make sure that nobody can get too close, and stop any potential power clams.
Yeah, right now it does seem like Acai is able to win that 1v1 right there up against Ghost on that Octobrush, so that's going to pretty much clear up mid for them at this point. They also got a bunch of power clams rather to make a power clam right there is Acai, so now they're able to maybe push up. They just want to maybe wait on a couple of those inkjets at the ready, maybe even the bubbles as well, just to get this push started. Finally, I think they do see an opening, maybe able to take it, but no, there goes the Octobrush shutting that down really quickly. I'm almost able to pick up that power clam, make sure that it doesn't reset on them, but in a pretty bad position at this point.
Yeah, Lily knew exactly where she was going to go, so she just preemptively went around that box and was able to get the kill. And not only that, but also break that barrier down. That was another instance of KachoFugetsu trying to force a play and it not panning out, leading to a huge opening for Vitamin C. They were able to get that barrier break, and before that, when KachoFugetsu was making their first push, the clam count was 23-0. Now we're seeing a tie here at 14-14, but KachoFugetsu is giving Vitamin C a lot of ground after getting the initial picks in those team fights.
Yeah, we did see a couple players on the side of Vitamin C tossing the clams over to Egg to make sure that they can form a power clam. Now they've got 2 at the ready. One is scored right there, and here comes another one, hopefully. Yeah, they're going to be able to score right there with a bunch of power clams, and then now this is going down to a scary situation for KachoFugetsu. They are able to stop the push for the moment, but a push to 34 at this point in the game is pretty scary.
Such a large map, and yet all of it's being concentrated into that tiny little hallway and the plat above it. Really nothing you can do once those bubbles are out unless you're able to get behind them. Acai does have that splashdown at the ready in case they need to push forward here. There are 3 specials, both inkjets and the splashdown at the ready, as Acai gets the falling shot onto Egg in order to finish them off. Does throw the power clam up, and that will be a double kill with that splashdown, looking for the triple, and gets the assist on it, and that should be multiple power clams coming in. Down to 51, so they should need to find some more clams, and it looks like Acai has a few in addition to the power clam that actually misses. An unfortunate turn of events here as they're being very heavily guarded. Toriko, the last one left alive, and they'll be in no position to grab that power clam. No lead going to be gained for them yet.
Yeah, that power clam right there would have given him the lead, would have made the match 31-34 in their favor, but unfortunately does miss it right there. Now they're going to have to build up another power clam very quickly and also get in a position where they're going to be able to have to score 2 power clams or more, so definitely a scary situation to be in for KachoFugetsu right now. They're also going down. Mid control seems to be going in favor of Vitamin C. A couple picks for them as well. Egg's able to clean up house right there and maintain map control. So they've only got 20 seconds on the other side if they want to be able to take this lead.
Yeah, Egg so brave in the face of danger there and knew her positioning very well. Backed off right as that end parry was engaging. The end parry missed their shots as they didn't have enough range, and they were able to just stand in one spot and melt them down. So Egg pushing back. They do have the power clam at the ready, and it looks like Toriko is getting ready to try and either jump up or protect another push here coming in from Vitamin C, and Egg looking to break that barrier first, and they will. You see it spinning there, and that will be game one. So very nice job there. We do have the names switched around with the cameras, but really nice opening.
Yeah, both teams looking very strong right there. Honestly, could have gone either way. We saw all it took was that missed power climb. Maybe they would have been able to do it on the side of Vitamin C because they were playing pretty patient at the end and still got a score near the end of the game right there. Probably would have forced overtime, but if you're KachoFugetsu, that one's got to hurt because you know you could have taken that lead.
You know, the nice thing about Game 5 is that mistakes like that aren't as heavily amplified as they are in a Game 3, but if you lose this set, this has to be a moment that you're looking back on, just the missed power clam throw, because after that, they were completely overwhelmed. It was an instant 3-down situation going forward, and as we move on to Rainmaker Walleye Warehouse, I think that this one has to be another very similar map. You know, the actual portion of the map that they paid attention to last game was that small hallway, and Rainmaker on Walleye Warehouse provides a lot of the same opportunities. One of the more common pushes for this map is through that alleyway, and that gives you such a small opening with which to pump through. A Stingray, a Bubble Blower, anything like that can deter your enemies or allow you some room to maneuver around and not take that heavy fire, because there is a platform right in front of the alleyway where you can have somebody like Egg set up to just take people out.
Yeah, definitely on that platform, you can have that heavy splatling just rain down a lot of ink onto enemies and maintain a lot of spacing for your team as well before you start to push. So definitely want to watch out for that. Then we've got to see if KachoFugetsu's double M parries will work on this map, because it's pretty strong here. You've got the curling bombs to close a lot of those narrow passageways and maintain your pressure there. But the Inkjet as well, we mentioned it earlier, this is a place where a lot of Inkjet players love. This is kind of a playground for them at this point because they're able to get up into so many high positions, and maybe they won't be able to take him out on the side of Vitamin C. So we're going to see what they elect to do here. I'm expecting maybe those double M parries to come out once again, and they do.
If you don't have a baller, the curling bomb is the next best thing for a nice straight narrow line. We are seeing a difference here in Toriko as they shift over from the Forged Splattershot Pro over to the custom Jet Squelcher. She is running some Ink Saver main on it, which does mean they're just going to be looking to stay in one place and get as much ink on the map as possible. On the flip side of things, for Vitamin C, we are seeing a couple of shorter range weapons, that Octobrush making a return, as does the Ten Attack, to be the answer for those Inkjets. And basically, KachoFugetsu losing both of their Inkjet weapons immediately. They're both going to go down, as does the Blaster. So Vitamin C putting themselves in a great position so far. Only that long range of the Jet is around, which does have that Stingray available, so it looks like it's going to be pretty difficult unless EBZ can take Toriko out first.
Yeah, right there, the Stingray is going to take him down very quickly. Here we've got Ebbs and Egg trying to make something happen to push it along further. They do get the pop and also get a couple picks going in their favor. That's going to be a strong push for them right there. Up until 18 with less than a minute into the game, that's definitely the position they want to find themselves in. Now they've got to just maintain their control in mid. And we did see right there, it was Ebbs, although they went down in their spawn, that bought a lot of time. And look, already in the center of the map is the Ghost and Egg.
Yeah, we see the Stingray Inkjet combination come out here. It looks like they can't find anybody with that Stingray quite yet, trying to back off the Inkjet perhaps, and Shiwatan not able to get anything with their Inkjet either. So Lily pushing forward with theirs, trying to find Shiwatan, but neither girl able to come away with the kill there. The Octobrush Spoke ends up trading with Toriko, so that's their long-range component out of the way, so they don't really have anything to contest this Rainmaker unless they get very, very up close. Vitamin C doing a great job of backing off the members of KachoFugetsu, but there comes a nice assist there with the Inkjet shot, looking for a second one onto Lily, but instead hits that platform, will find the kill eventually, but the Ballers have already come out somehow staying alive, and this looks like it could be a push in the making for KachoFugetsu.
Yeah, right there. That was a pretty decent trade right there from the custom Jet Squelcher and the Splatling, respectively, of each team. Now it's a chance for KachoFugetsu to try to get back into the middle of the map. They're finally finding their way around. This is a crucial 1v1 off to the side here. Lily's just going to back out of it. Doesn't want to go down in a position alone over there. Maybe call it out to a team and then reapproach that area. But so far, it seems like Vitamin C's been able to stay strong right now and not allow KachoFugetsu to really get anything going.
And I like what Acai there. You can't be afraid to use your splashdown, even when you're sure you aren't going to get a kill with it. Sometimes it can be the difference maker between life and death. Nice trade there, as Ebbs will also fall. And the actual Stingray coming out here to try and make sure nobody from Vitamin C can engage too quickly. They force a 3-down situation, and the ladies of KachoFugetsu will be pushing in very soon. Map control looking a lot more purple as of late. And watch Komomo. Komomo on the flank there, 2v1ing the members of Vitamin C, but they will lose very, very quickly as Egg was already spun up, and that's going to take all of the wind out of the sails of KachoFugetsu. Absolutely no progress gained.
Yeah, everyone on that team did go down right there, so they're going to have to completely reset, and map control as well went completely in favor of Vitamin C right now. So for KachoFugetsu, they've got to use these specials that they're trying to build up right now. They've got one Inkjet at the ready. The second one also comes online. They're going to be popping them, trying to get a couple kills. There goes Ghost down on that Octobus. They're also able to clean up the Rainmaker. This is exactly what they wanted out of those Inkjets.
Yeah, Ghost waiting too long to pop out of the ink there, and there's only one surviving member of Vitamin C, but they do have that Stingray at the ready. So whenever KachoFugetsu gets started, that's going to be what's coming out. But Toriko has the counter Stingray at the ready. So this is going to be an incredibly interesting dynamic as to whether one Stingray will win out over the other. You see map control here pretty heavily in purple, so this is looking like deja vu, exactly what happened at the start here. KachoFugetsu using basically all of their specials to make this push happen. Toriko trying to get Ghost as they are on the Stingray, melts a couple of bubbles away, but they're going to take this one up the alleyway, and that's exactly when that Stingray is going to be popped here by Ebbs, and that should shut the push down as two members go down.
Yeah, definitely don't want to be in that position up against the Stingray. That closed area is just way too narrow for you to move around in, and that's pretty much a guaranteed kill for the opposing team. So right now, it's going to be going in the opposite direction. Lily's kind of squirming around, trying to get away from, I believe that is the custom Jet Squelcher of Toriko, but finally able to dodge and dip away from it. Toriko's got that Stingray at the ready, but kind of not in the right position to really do it. They're going to jump back to spawn and finally pop that Stingray, end this push, and that's exactly what KachoFugetsu needs, because they need to start this push early.
And this gives them exactly one opportunity, and I say that, you know, you have 45 seconds left, but what do you have to do in that time? You have to get map control entirely back in mid. You have to build up your specials. You have to get picks with those specials, and then you have to get all the way up to 17, which is all the way up by that tarped ramp close to their spawn. So Toriko will be the designated Rainmaker carrier. That's pretty usual to see your longest range weapon take up that role while your frontliners are going to come back. Suwatan being the main bodyguard here as Lily attempts to engage Toriko, who is able to survive and continue to push forward here. 10 seconds left. Egg is already set up with that heavy splatling way back with a splat wall, and they're only going to have a small amount of time as they picked up the Rainmaker very early on for this overtime push.
The Stingray is going to be coming in from Ebbs. Ebbs trying to earn this right now, looking straight onto Toriko. Toriko trying to move around, seems to have gotten away, but Lily's going to come in with that splatter shot and end it right there. That's going to be Vitamin C taking a 2-0 lead in this set. And you got to remember, Vitamin C lost to KachoFugetsu yesterday, so this is a redemption for them.
This has to feel very, very good for them, but KachoFugetsu, they need to sort of ignore what's been going on, push forward. They know that their strategies have worked in the past against Vitamin C, so they need to be very careful about how they're popping these specials, because you can see that in every engagement, they're using no less than 2, usually 3 specials, and they're still not getting the picks. So something is not clicking. They may have to deviate slightly some of their weapon choices. It seems like this blaster and double end parry composition has been figured out by Vitamin C, and so if they don't pick something that's a little bit different and not what Vitamin C is used to, this could be a quick 3-0 for Vitamin C, allowing them to move on in the loser's bracket.
Yeah, and you got to remember, this is the loser's bracket, so KachoFugetsu, this could be the last game they're playing here in this tournament. I know they would probably be disappointed in losing this early for them, but got to look at how they're playing these games out. Our next one is going to be Splat Zone's Mekomar. Everyone knows that that's kind of the favored mode in Japan, at least. I don't know if it is for these girls, but just in general, you've got to think that they've have some mindset or some strategy ready going into this one.
Yeah, and this is a very interestingly shaped zone. It's almost a plus shape, and so you have that platform kind of near the zone where your egg or your heavy splatling can kind of set up, make sure that it's constantly painted. I've seen Dynamo played on this map. I've seen Roller played on this map because it has a lot of long hallways that you can make use of those curling bombs and get behind the enemy team. But the important factor is going to be what changes in KachoFugetsu's game in order to make this one work. I see immediately that instead of the double end parry, they have gone over to the Neo Splash-O-Matic. We saw that earlier out of Hitzel with that Burst Bomb and Suction Bomb Rush combination, so that will give them a nice painting special to use on the zone. Acai immediately in, being very aggressive, but gets countered a bit by the Splash Ball. However, she will retain her life, at least for the moment. Now a couple of picks coming in as Siweltan falls. Komomo already building up that Suction Bomb Rush in the first 20 seconds of the match, and that should allow them to keep the zone as they have gotten the first push of the game. They take away that Ink Armor and take out Lily without losing a life or taking much damage. Great start here in the early game, but it looks like finally Vitamin C starting to counter.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised right there that everything seems to be going in favor of KachoFugetsu, but somehow Vitamin C able to turn it around right now. Now we've got Acai and the rest of the team trying to push back onto them. They should be able to cap the zone here with those bubbles, and they are. Here's the Inkjet coming in onto Lily, trying to finish them off, and they do right there, but seems like Ghost and the rest of Vitamin C are in position to try and put up some type of fight right now, looking to make something happen. Ebbs goes down around the zone right there, and that's going to be KachoFugetsu taking down a couple players and should be building on this lead.
Acai with the Inkjet there, not going to find too much out of it, but does have the advantage here, 3v2. However, we are already seeing the bubble blower come out from Egg, who will immediately fall. I think a sub-weapon bounced off of that bubble, immediately detonated and took him out. So this is the advantage going back to KachoFugetsu. And in this game, I'm seeing a lot more signs of life from them. It looks like they're actually picking weapons based on the mode instead of it being what they're used to.
Yeah, so right now it seems like things are going a little bit in their favor, like you said, but Vitamin C turns it around, looking to get a nice splat as a team together there on that left side. So they're in pretty good position right now to make a strong defense. They've also got the Inkjet at the ready for the Brush. You see the Brush is just camping out right there. Want to make sure that no one can approach the zone from this right side. It's going to be up to Acai to try to get them out of it, but Ghost is going to pop that Inkjet and make sure that Acai can't even get close. You see this 2v2 situation over here to the right side. Rather, now it's left when the camera flips, but right now it seems like KachoFugetsu actually wins that 2v2, and that's going to allow them to stop the zone. The last one up alive is Acai. They're going to be able to paint this out.
And Vitamin C 1 point away from tying, 2 away from taking the lead here. Massive stop from KachoFugetsu as we see a huge clutch, and it's taken over again, so that will indeed be Vitamin C, without getting a penalty, able to claim the lead as we approach the halfway point of this game. Ebbs trying to find a pick or two with that blaster, but nobody seems to be hanging out on this raised platform here, so fantastic job to not get a penalty here and instead take the lead and put KachoFugetsu on their heels.
Yeah, right there. I would have liked to see the Inkjet kind of use their special to paint the zone rather than trying to worry about that last player alive. Probably would have been able to cap it with about 2 shots, but unfortunately for them, they're going to lose the lead and now have to work from behind and deal with a penalty timer that's pretty significant going into this last 2 minutes right now. So going to be working with that coming in right now. The bubbles are at the ready for them, but they're going to go down to the Autobomb right there. That's a huge setback. They do have 2 specials online in the Inkjet and the Bomb Rush right there, but those are the last 2 players left.
Yeah, it looks like KachoFugetsu's trying to make hero plays. They're using specials when they're already 2 or 3 down. You might think if you have that special built up already, you might want to just retreat and wait for the next team fight so that you have 3 or 4 specials already so that you can take on the opposing team and get back into mid. That's pretty difficult on this map, especially if you can't find the picks. But we do see bubbles coming out from both teams here. Egg going to be countering the ones coming out from Toriko on the side of KachoFugetsu, able to get a kill onto Acai with that first shot there, and they get immediately pressured by Chiwotan, who will give them an advantage. They roll into some shots, and that is still a 2v1 here for Vitamin C as they hold barely onto the zone, still though facing heavy opposition.
Yeah, they're able to push them back quite a bit. There goes the Ink Armor coming out from Lily, but Lily's going to get taken down right away by Acai's blaster right there. So now it's coming into those final minute right here as they're going to be having to hold the zone for practically the entire game just to make sure that they don't lose it right now. Finally, they've got the specials online on the side of KachoFugetsu. The bubbles came out, Inkjet came out, and they also have the Bomb Rush at the ready. Might want to use that now just to make sure that they can secure the zone, and they do. There goes the Bomb Rush coming in. The bubbles are coming out as well from the other side. Can they maintain the zone pressure right now? And it seems like they can with only 2 up for Vitamin C.
This is the play I wanted to see from KachoFugetsu. They're not using their specials when they're already 2 down or 3 down. They're using them to counter the push that Vitamin C is attempting to make. Ebbs is going to fall. KachoFugetsu gets rid of their entire penalty, and they're approaching single digits here. However, Ghost getting a big pick there on the combo, but looking for the second one on Chiwotan, who's able to back up just enough in order to get the kill. However, in that time, the zone has been contested, and now a big penalty of 40 given over to KachoFugetsu. So you have to stop the overtime push. There is a big penalty for Vitamin C to have to deal with, but at this point, it's going to be one heck of an overtime.
Yeah, they are starting to get the picks. Acai is able to stop it right there with a couple nice blaster picks.
Overtime.
And able to stop the overtime just in time right there. So perfect positioning for Acai at the end, able to secure her team at least 1 victory in the set and prevent them from going home early.
Could this be the advent of a KachoFugetsu reverse sweep? They did finally start to allow their team comps to sort of work for themselves, and you can see their Komomo, well, 7 KA, but 7 suction bomb rushes used. That's a massive influence on the zone. Those suction bombs, they do have a delayed detonation, but they do have the largest blast radius of those bombs, which is a huge factor on the zone. So really, really nice to see them come away with the win. That is the only iteration of Splat Zones we are going to be seeing in this set, even if it goes to Game 5. We now go on to the only mode that we have not yet seen in this set, Tower Control on Piranha Pit.
Yeah, tower control, Piranha Pit. A lot of players do like the end parry splat dualies on this map because those curling bombs, it's a very long map, so those curling bombs are going to allow pressure from a very far positioning away, and also the inkjet as well. So I think this is a map where they can go back to that double end parry comp, but they also need to maybe get Toriko on a custom jet squelcher or something like that because they're going to need a sting right here for sure to stop a push.
This is a massive map, and you really do want that extra range that you get from running the custom jet over something like the Forge, so I would not be surprised to see that run at all. And also, it's important to note that for tower control specifically, the middle hallway on the map is split off. The tower spawns there, and there are boxes protecting the middle portion of the map, so you do have to sort of wrap around those conveyor belts or use the conveyor belts to your advantage in order to get over closer to the tower. So a stingray here, when somebody's climbing on top of the tower, when they get to a checkpoint, is going to be invaluable. Ink jets as well, those boxes you can use to get higher. Use that jet exhaust to take yourself up to a point where you can take out anyone that might be trying to shark on the conveyor belts or might be lingering around the tower.
Yeah, and just looking at it from here, we do see that most of the players on the side of Vitamin C are already ready, but it is KachoFugetsu taking their time. They want to be very methodical about what they're going to do in this next game. I'm sure they're thinking about it a lot. This is their tournament life depends on this game, so everything needs to go right now, even in the menu select screen.
And that's what I like to see. They're not rushing into it. They're clearly taking their time. Now that they've worked out a strategy, we have 3 of the 4 members, now all 4, getting their lineup set. We're just waiting on Ghost now to lock in. And I'm sure Vitamin C is kind of going back and forth saying, okay, we lose 1. We had a lot of great moments in that 3rd game. We need to keep this momentum going. Just because we lost 1, we still have plenty of room, a major cushion built up, and this could be either the end of the set or the start of what could be a KachoFugetsu reverse sweep.
Yeah, we're going to get started right here. Tower control on Piranha Pit. Both teams getting it started. We've got, right now, it seems like KachoFugetsu in the green, and Vitamin C's coming in that purple right now. So look to see both of these teams trying to approach the middle center tower. And this is a pretty good position for the Octobrush. It's got the high ground, and it can kind of jump in on people, but Ghost is just going to elect to get right onto that tower and take out Shiwatan, who tried to pounce in on them from above.
Yeah, as predicted, we are seeing the custom jet squelcher coming out from Toriko that is going to allow them to pop this stingray that we're currently seeing. Everybody scattering from the towers. We see Lily being very aggressive. Shiwatan goes down again, so that's going to stop all the progress that was built up towards one of those inkjets. Komomo currently using theirs, and they missed their final shot on the Ghost, and this should be a pretty easy kill. I don't believe them to be running drop roller, so this push will continue on for Vitamin C. Great energy and grit from them.
Yeah, Vitamin C so far looking pretty strong in this game for right now. We've got Ghost right here doing pretty much great work with that Octobrush, always able to seemingly get at least 1 pick before they go down, which is exactly what you want to be doing as one of those frontlining weapons. Right now, though, the Stingray is going to be forcing Vitamin C to retreat for the moment. Egg was able to pick off one of the members of KachoFugetsu, though, so this push is about to get started right again.
Yeah, Toriko not really finding anything with that Stingray, and they will go down since it's a 2-down situation here as we see the inkjet getting popped here by Ebbs, looking to find some spawners, and Acai seems like a likely target. A teammate's able to clean them up, and nobody else seems really likely at the moment, but their spawn also isn't getting camped, which allows them to continue going. Komomo will also fall in those end parry dualies, so that loses all the progress that they've built up. Ghost has the ink armor and is popping the inkjet as we approach this 3rd and final checkpoint. Lily just being the tower rider here, and this pole protecting them from all of the incoming shots. Acai looking to find an engagement as Shiwatan finishes up their inkjet pretty successfully here, I would say, as they've gotten them 3 down. So finally, at the 4 marker, that push is going to stop, but it's going to take essentially a knockout for KachoFugetsu to force a Game 5.
Yeah, they're going to need a miracle to win this game at this point right now. And we saw it right there on that push. That's why the inkjet isn't that strong of a special on tower control, because most of those shots were being blocked pretty much by that center pole. And that's why a lot of players essentially only really like the inkjet on a mode like Splat Zones rather than tower control. But hopefully it's going to try to work out for KachoFugetsu as this game progresses, but they're still going down, and actually they're turning it back in the other direction. Acai finally able to get something going right here. The Blaster's going to be moving forward, trying to get a pick onto, I believe that is Ebbs on the Rapid Blaster, but Ebbs is going to use some expert dodging and making sure that they're able to secure that kill for them, and that's probably going to stall this push a bit, but KachoFugetsu is trying to get it rolling.
Yeah, Acai's positioning there was not super. I think they were trying to bait the Blaster to jump down and then use that splashdown to take them out, but unfortunately it was not meant to be. Toriko trying to use the Stingray and not getting too much out of it, just delaying some members of Vitamin C from grabbing grabbing the tower egg, pressuring them very heavily, and they will fall. It's going to be a 3v3 matchup now as Ghost looks to get on top of 2 members of KachoFugetsu, but instead of that, they will smartly retreat back and maintain this map control in mid. They have built up their Inkjet, and they want to use it at the exact right time. Don't need to use it to kill Subotan there, and barely gets out of the way from taking damage from Acai's splashdown. Does get them stopped in the Toxic Mist, but they will have just enough range to take them out, and this Octobrusher currently is rolling while the other members of Vitamin C are pushing this tower.
Yeah, that ink armor that Lily threw up right there definitely saved Ghost's life right there up against the blaster of Acai. So looking pretty good to start up this push even further. Another nice pick coming out for Ghost onto Acai once again, actually. So they're going to be able to push this even further, looking to knock it out, and that's exactly what they're going to do right here. Too late for KachoFugetsu. They put up a good fight up against Vitamin C, but Vitamin C gets the upper hand on them in the end.
Looks like that Stingray was too little too late, and we did see great signs of life from KachoFugetsu, but Vitamin C redeeming themselves, redeeming their performance in the floated pools, and they now continue on in this tournament's losers bracket. Unfortunately, that does mean for KachoFugetsu, this is the end of their tournament run, but it's been a thrill having a Japanese team, especially an all-girls team, at a Western LAN. I hope they'll stick around and continue to enjoy the show. Great performance, though, by Vitamin C, and I'm looking for very similar performances coming out of the rest of the losers bracket from them.
Yeah, and if you look at them over there,